Happy Food Freedom Friday. Welcome back, and it's Food Freedom Friday, and I have a praise report. I got to tell you guys that I did get my car back. It's been driving just fine. We're blessed by God, and I want to share with you this testimony of what God did. So, the day that the transmission actually went out, we were on our way to the grocery store to go food shopping for the week, and we never made it. One of the blessings was is that our mechanic, who is a family friend, he came to the scene. He had just gotten done work, and he came to the scene, and he was there when the tow truck came and took it to his shop. And then he took us home. So we had a ride home. That was the first blessing. The second blessing was that our neighbor, who was saving us a parking spot, when we got home, we told him we didn't need it because our car broke down. So he came the next day when he got off work to ask us if there was anything at all he could do, and he offered to take us to the store. Blessing number 2. So we did get our food shopping done, and we didn't start for the week because the car was going for a week and a half. Okay, so the third blessing was we were just a tiny bit short of the money that we needed to finish paying for the repairs. And God had been telling me, don't spend, save, save, save. So I had started this nest egg, didn't know why, I was just saving. I'm thinking it's for a sewing machine, which I need to get repaired, or it was for something different. So it ended up being enough, more than enough actually, to cover the rest of the cost that was needed for us to get our car back on last Friday, the day that it was done. So we've had it back for a week, and it's driving beautifully. So let's talk about that's the financial miracle. That's the miracle and the blessings of neighbors and friends and finances. But I want to talk about the hope that I have in Christ, because in the past I would have so eaten over this. I would have, while I was in the store, I would have just gravitated towards some type of snack. It wouldn't have been truly unhealthy, but it would not have been healthy. There's a certain type of gluten-free cookie that I like, and I would have bought the bag and ate the whole bag. And that just was something that I would do in the past. I didn't even think about it. All my mind was on was, okay, God, I'm trusting you, I'm believing in you, and I know that you're going to take care of us in this situation. That's what food freedom looks like. It doesn't happen when there is no worries, because life is going to happen, right? It doesn't matter if it's financial, if it's physical health, no matter what the case may be, there is always something, because we're living life. And in this life, God says you will have trouble. He didn't say if, he said you will. So we're going to have trouble. The question is, am I going to bury my head in a bowl of ice cream, or search for something in the refrigerator, or eat a whole plate of something because I'm emotionally eating? Or am I going to bring it to God in prayer, which is that's exactly what I did every single time it came to mind. It wasn't like it didn't come to mind. It wasn't like there was some miraculous feeling of euphoria where, oh, God is just all taken care of. No, it actually came to mind. I had thoughts around it, but I brought those thoughts to God, and I did not take them to the kitchen and eat over them emotionally, which is exactly what I have done for years and years and years. And I am telling you that when you allow God into that space, and you allow God to be the hero of your story, he will be the hero of your story. We just have to let him. He is a gentleman. He is not going to push his way into any situation. He acts on our faith. When we have faith, when we bring him into our story, he is allowed to show up. He is allowed to show out. He is allowed to be God and Lord over your life. I did not have to go out of my way. I didn't have stress in my home. We didn't argue, fuss, and fight over it. We just let God handle it. And that is new for us. Honestly, in the past, it would have been tension. It would have been stress mounting. But because we were walking in faith, we allowed God to be God. one of the things I want to point out is that I prepared ahead of time by making sure I stayed on plan with the foods I bought. Like I said, I could have, while I was in the store, treated myself to something that would take the edge off. You know what I mean? We do this eating stress wise, and some people drink, and some people gamble, and some people spend money. But for me, as a compulsive eater, to take the edge off emotionally, I would buy something that I could just run through, that I could just eat compulsively until I was absolutely stuffed or sick. So, one of the things we can do to prepare is to make sure we don't purchase anything that's not on our food list, on our meal plan. And then, so we don't have any temptation in the kitchen. And I don't mean make everybody else in the house do it. My husband doesn't eat like me. This isn't my food, and his food is his food. And I don't eat his food because that's disrespectful to him. If he buys treats for himself, they are his treats. And I don't think it's wise for us to make other people subject them to having to do what God is calling us to do. This is our walk. This is our time to shine. This is our time to build our faith with God, not to try to force somebody else into what God is calling me to do, because it's not going to work for them. What God has for them is for them, and what God has for you is for you. So make sure that you don't have any temptation foods of your own in your household. Make sure that you have healthy foods prepared ahead of time, so that if you do decide to eat something and it may not be dinner time and you want to snack between lunch and dinner, you have something healthy prepared. And also, the third thing is to make sure that you have invested in some time alone with God. Make sure that you are spending time with Him, bringing the situation to Him, and not stewing or rudimenting. I can never say that word, but stewing. Make sure that you're not stewing over it. Make sure that you are releasing it and not holding it and letting it build frustration, letting it fester, letting it snowball into something bigger than it actually is, or snowball into something because you can't see a way out of it when God actually has provided a way out of it already. We just have to come to Him and allow Him to open that door. So no matter what you're struggling with, whether it's financial, sickness, family, no matter what the issue is, bring God into the situation. Make sure you have the right foods in your house to eat so you're not tempted. And also pray instead of letting yourself rudiment in it. Just build into it. That's a perfect trifecta of having God in your situation, bringing it to Him, and making sure you have the right foods in your household. And also, it can help to bring somebody else into the situation. But I just want to make sure that you know that food freedom comes when we allow God in, not when we just stew on it and think about it. We actually have to take action. So let's take some action. Allow God into our situation and let Him be God. Let Him shine. Let Him be the hero of your story. And if you like this video and like these Food Freedom Fridays, then let me know in the comments. Hit the like button and subscribe. And also share it with someone else who needs encouragement to know that God will be God over your situation. You don't have to eat over it. You don't have to be the one who's always hiding in the kitchen, eating food in secret, and then it's showing on our bodies. I will see you next time in Food Freedom Friday.